Let's be honest, waiting is tough, right? It's one of the hardest things we do. Whether you're waiting for a doctor's appointment, a big piece of news, or something, way more profound, that time in between can really test you. Well, today we're going to dive into what might be the longest wait of all, and what it can teach us about what it really means to have hope. Our story kicks off deep inside a mountain in the northern Himalayas. It's November 2023, and a tunnel that's being built suddenly collapses. 41 workers are trapped behind a huge wall of rock and debris. For 17 straight days, they just wait, in the dark. Rescue teams are frantically trying to get to them. But as one geologist put it, they were up against weak rock mass. It was a truly desperate situation. Now, this is the part that really gets me. One of the men who was rescued talked about what it was like down there. He said that as time dragged on, they all got restless. I mean, who wouldn't? But then he said something just incredible. He said he never lost hope. Think about that. That one statement, coming from the total darkness of a collapsed tunnel, is the key to this whole conversation we're about to have. So, that tiny flicker of hope, right there in the face of disaster, it's a perfect metaphor for a much, much bigger idea. We're going to make a little jump here, from the hope of just surviving to a huge spiritual promise, one that's known in the Christian faith as the blessed hope. So what is the blessed hope? Well, it's this core belief that history isn't random. It's actually going somewhere. It's the conviction that Jesus will return one day and that this event will basically put an end to all the pain and suffering we see in the world. As the Bible says, it's when God will wipe away every tear from their eyes. It's the ultimate hope for the future. But here's the thing. This idea of waiting for a divine promise to come true, it's not new at all. In fact, if you look at the biblical story, it's one of the main themes that runs through the entire thing. It's a story that is absolutely defined by long, long periods of waiting and holding on to a promise. And I mean a long time. Just look at this timeline. It goes all the way back, thousands of years. It starts with Adam and Eve being kicked out of the Garden of Eden. Then you've got Abraham being promised a new land, the Israelites waiting for freedom from slavery in Egypt. Every single generation was waiting for something. And even though the birth of Jesus fulfilled a huge part of that promise, it also kicked off a new period of waiting, the wait for his return. And you want to know what makes this so real, so personal? It's believed that when Adam and Eve had their first son, Cain, they thought, this is it. This is the one who was promised, the deliverer. That was the very start of an anticipation, a hope that would get passed down for thousands and thousands of years. Okay, so if you're on a journey that's this long, you're going to ask the question, right? Are we there yet? It's just human nature to look around for signs, for clues that tell you you're getting close. But the source material we're looking at suggests we might be thinking about these signs all wrong. And this is the absolute key point right here. The source draws a line between two things, mile markers and road signs. Mile markers, they count down the distance. They tell you exactly how much further you have to go. But road signs, they do something different. They just confirm you're on the right road. The argument is that the signs of the times in the Bible are way more like road signs than mile markers. Here's the perfect way to think about it, straight from the text. Imagine you're driving from London to Leeds. You're not looking at every sign expecting it to say 100 miles to go, 99 miles to go. But when you see that big green sign for the M1 motorway, you breathe a sigh of relief. You know you're on the right track, headed in the right direction. See? The signs aren't about predicting your arrival time, they're about giving you confidence for the journey. So this all leads to a really big practical question. If we can't know when the wait will be over, if there are no mile markers counting down to the end, then how are we supposed to live right now? How do you actually navigate a journey when you don't know how long it's going to take? The answer, it turns out, is a principle that completely changes how you see the waiting game. It's not about just sitting around, anxiously tapping your foot. It's about turning that waiting into an active state of confidence. It's all about how you carry yourself along the way. And it all boils down to this one very famous line from the New Testament. For we walk by faith, not by sight. What does that really mean? It means your confidence for the journey doesn't come from constantly seeing proof that the end is just around the corner. Instead, it comes from a deep, abiding trust in the promise itself. A trust that the road you're on is the right one, even when you can't see the destination. And that brings us right back to where we started, doesn't it? Back to those miners in the dark. The ultimate goal, as this source suggests, is for anyone in the middle of this long historical wait to have that same spirit, to live with such trust that at the end of it all, people could say about them what was said about that one resilient miner, that they never lost hope. It really makes you think, what journeys in our own lives are we on, where maybe we should focus less on counting down the miles and more on just knowing we're on the right road?